Man, this is Diane Dawkins, man, and you're listening to The Scoop on OurScoop.com. You already know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Scoop, the weekly podcast of OurScoop.com, the authority on Temple Athletics. We are on to our 26th episode of our 11th season here on The Scoop. I'm your host, John DiCarlo, OurScoop's editor, joined by assistant editor Kyle Gauss and the esteemed Ryan Mack, one of our most intrepid reporters, who's happy this week. His team's getting closer to a Super Bowl. We'll get into that a little bit. You don't have anybody to spar with this week, but
I'm very nervous about it, John.
You should be nervous about it, but hey.
You know, I didn't need that.
You should be. But hey, we'll recap Temple's win over USF from Saturday night and tell you why it continues to look like the American Conference men's basketball title looks like it could be up for grabs this season. Diane Richardson's women's team got back on track with a 67-65 overtime win at Tulane Saturday, and they host North Texas this Saturday at 2 p.m. You'll hear my interview with Temple guard Aiden Tobiason, who scored 22 points in the win over USF this weekend and played probably his best game of the season. We talked about the late Bill Courtney and how the team has coped with his loss this season. We talked about what has allowed this team to get better defensively, why he wasn't surprised to see Muhammad Keita come up big Saturday, and a lot more in that conversation that you won't want to miss. And we have, of course, answers to your mailbag questions as well. The Scoop, as it always is brought to you by Greenspan and Greenspan Injury Lawyers. If you've been injured while on the road to the highway and the crash was someone else's fault, the insurance company is not going to be on your side. You need us. Temple Law Grads will fight hard to get the compensation that you deserve. We only get paid if we win. So in Pennsylvania or New York, call us today at 215-261-7359. That's 215-261-7359. And you can find them on the web at greenspans-law.com. That's greenspans-law.com. We will remind you once again that if you subscribe to OurScoop.com, you get a free year of The Athletic. First 5 days for that trial membership is just $1. So, you know, I know that some of the craziness of the football portal has calmed down, but you'll get one-on-one interviews and all of our coverage. So still a great time to subscribe. Kyle, before we were recording here, you were talking about how you were a member of the Rubik's Cube community. You're always getting into you're always getting into something.
All I said was, as part of like a stocking stuffer, my wife got my 6-year-old son a Rubik's Cube. Shockingly, he does know how to do a Rubik's Cube. I used to know how to do a Rubik's Cube when I was like 13. And then after staring at it for a couple weeks, I finally said, you know what, I'm going to relearn how to do a Rubik's Cube. So I relearned how to do a Rubik's Cube, and that is where we're at. And then since then, I've probably done the Rubik's Cube 150, 200 times. So I'm trying to get my time down.
Since Christmas or since...
No, in the last 6 days. It's gotten to the point where Meg has to tell me, like, please put down the Rubik's Cube. It's one of those things. It's just once I found out I knew how to do it, and I spent way too long memorizing algorithms, I started to debate, like, can I do this better? Can I do this faster? And you start timing yourself. And I'm just become hyper-fixated. I will drop it like cold turkey sometime in the next couple weeks.
I think all things considered, better that you're fixated on this than like playing video games. Like
I also played video games for about 4.5 hours last night. So
okay.
What did you play?
I'm playing Breath of the Wild. I'm playing Zelda.
I got a Switch. I bought it. Well, my younger brother did. He loves it. I want to play it so bad.
I'm playing
Wait,
it on Switch.
What is it again?
It's the Zelda that came out like 9 years ago. I'm playing it on Switch too. I'd never played it before, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I loved like Ocarina of Time and stuff in N64, so I'm just the new version of that. And then there's the other one after that, which I forget the acronym for. So I got some other stuff coming.
At the risk of making myself sound old, how is this Zelda different than like the Nintendo Zelda, or is it not different?
Well, Nintendo Zelda was 8 pixels, like 8 bits.
I mean,
it's similar concept. You have dungeons,
okay.
You have puzzles and stuff. You're figuring that out. There's combat. Yeah, it's the same concept, just much more fleshed out. Mm-hmm. The base Zelda on NES you could beat in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. This is like scores and scores of hours.
As Kyle, for those of you listening at home, Kyle put his hands up and on camera, you could see he has the Rubik's Cube in his right hand.
I've done it. This is my 4th time since we started the Scoop. After I finish this one, we'll be done.
Hey, at least you're keeping your brain sharp.
That's why I rationalized to Meg as well. I said, this is like, at least like, I know things are firing. I'm making neurons fire. Like,
Yeah.
this is better than just staring at the TV.
What is your
I'm
average?
not sure if she agrees.
Do you ever look at your average screen time?
Yeah, I hate that. Mine's not as high as you would think, I don't think. I bet you if I compared, you know how sometimes it also gives you the stats of like the amount of times you lifted your phone or whatever? That I bet I'm pretty high on. But unless I'm just in like a TikTok rabbit hole, I feel like I'm more of like I look at the phone, okay, look at Twitter for a minute, put it down, and then like 6 minutes later I'm like just right back at it. Like that part I'm probably pretty bad at, but the overall time not so much.
Did you ever see that Please Don't Destroy sketch where they talk about their average screen time and it was like 23 hours and 45 minutes? It's like, really,
do you remember we did that with Graham a couple years ago? Like when he was still on, we're like, Graham, show us your screen time. And it was like 16 hours, 17 hours.
Yeah, it was
hours.
really
Like,
bad.
and he's like, I got some things to work through. Yeah. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Graham.
Happy birthday, Graham. I want to say happy birthday to my nephew, Tim, who's turning 15 today. Any other birthdays? Ryan, any birthdays in your world?
In my world, no, not in my world.
What would your average screen time be? Do you ever look at that?
Let me look.
Let's look.
I think it's a lot. I'm pretty sure. I spend my time doom scrolling on Twitter a lot of the time.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Kyle, are you willing to disclose what your average screen time is?
Oh, yeah, I will. You guys got to tell me yours as well.
It's great podcasting.
Where do I go for this? Screen time. Yeah, how do I do this?
How do we get to it? I only see it
Screen
when it
time.
pops.
There we go. I found it. All right, I have mine.
Mine's down a little bit. Who wants
is
to go
it?
first?
Ryan, go first.
Ryan, you go first.
My daily average is 14 hours and 7 minutes.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ,
Oh my
Ryan.
God. Dear Lord.
Jeez.
Dear Lord.
Ryan.
16 hours and 33 minutes on or social media. 9 hours is productivity and finance. I don't know what that is. 2.5 hours are games. But I'm down 8% from last week.
They're down 8%.
I'm down 8% as well.
Oh no, I thought last week's average was 13 hours and 38 minutes. And then, so it's like, okay, yeah, it's usually like the 13-hour range.
Wow.
I was ashamed to show you 5 hours and 20 minutes.
So that is normally, I would say that is about where I normally check in. My daily average is 3 hours and 16 minutes. It says I'm down 47% from last week. I'm going to attribute that to the fact that I was outside shoveling a lot.
Yeah.
I think that I am normally around like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And even that we could probably do better at. But man, 14 hours?
That's insane.
Yeah.
There's a lot of days I'm not awake for 14 hours and however many minutes a day. Like on a Saturday, like I might get 10 hours of sleep. So I'm not awake 14 hours that day. You're on your phone more than I'm awake.
I find myself doom scrolling a lot and I stay up late.
How much sleep do you get, Ryan?
Like 4 to 5 hours a night.
That's insane. That's insane. It's insane.
We got to get you more sleep.
Your brain cannot function off of that low sleep.
I got 9 hours last night though.
That's
good.
great.
That's good.
Great. I think
Still
6.5 is like the
direction.
minimum that you should be getting. Like last night I only got 7.5, but I still feel fine. 6.5, I think you could function on. 4 to 4.5 is insane.
We're all holding each other accountable here.
Are we? I thought we were just dogpiling on Ryan.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Colin's not here. We have to pick someone else.
What do you think Colin's average screen time is?
Actually, I just texted him actually to see what it is.
I could see Colin being super old school.
What
Like, I don't look at his
is
phone.
yours? I also texted Jacob. Jacob is 6 hours and 47 minutes.
Okay.
Average.
That's all right. So we've got a range of times here. We'll bring in someone from Al Scoop HR next week to work on this.
I forget the phrase, but have you heard people that do like the equivalent of like cord cutting with phones? Like they just like they make their phone like a dumb phone where it can only like receive texts and calls, and then they'll like revert to like, well, if I want music, now I carry an iPod, or if I want to take a photo, now I carry a camera. Like they just try like to cut yourself apart from.
I haven't heard of that, but it's probably, I don't know, it's probably healthy. Our friend Jeff Nyberg from the Philadelphia Inquirer was telling us last weekend he was on his way back from covering Nova UConn up in Hartford, and he was on Amtrak on the way back, and he saw somebody in front of him on the train playing a game on an iPod.
Brick Breaker? I used to murder some games on the first iPod video, the 30 gig one that had like Brick Breaker. There was a bunch of different games on it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did Colin get back to you?
My fault. Mine's also a bit skewed because mine is also mostly they combine it with just both my phone and my laptop. So that's
Okay.
combined. So that's good. Like it's 14
That's a
hours
little
combined.
better.
That's
Still
combined.
screen.
What is?
Almost
Do you
15.
know what the breakdown is per phone and per laptop?
Per phone? My average. 6 hours.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
6
right,
hours.
okay.
6 hours.
Yeah, but your laptop's. I mean, yeah, okay,
It's
yeah, that's
still-
fair. That's fair. I mean, I'm staring
Yeah.
at a screen a lot. That makes sense.
We're all staring.
Staring
We're
at
staring at a screen right now. Yeah.
How much of your screen time was the scoop?
We
Does
did
it break
record
that
that. We did record that 11-hour episode that never saw the light of day. So
Wait, you guys did an 11-hour episode?
no, we fell for that too easily.
We did.
No, we didn't do an
That was-
11-hour
Can't-
episode.
can't-
What
we-
I
what
think
if we
Kyle
did
would
like
kill
a-
me.
What if we
I
did like a
think-
marathon, like telethon episode, but we forgot to set up the phones? We're like,
No
9
one
hours
is
in,
calling.
We're still
Give-
waiting on our first.
Give
first
all you
donation.
can. What charitable cause are you having people give to? What other stat are you about to drop on us?
No,
Ray?
so Colin is it's 7 hours. Like he averages
Ooh.
7 on his
Ooh.
phone.
But is that between? Does he have a Mac? Is it between laptop and phone?
Between it's 12.
Mm.
Okay, so he's using his phone more than you though.
We'll address that with him. I'm sure he'll take this well.
We just have to make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know
I wouldn't be puffing your chest out yet because if anything,
I
if
know you're
you
done,
guys
bro.
lose on Sunday, like you're gonna have a much bigger fall than he did.
If we lose on Sunday, I don't know how I'm gonna react. Honestly,
You can react the same way I did when the Eagles lost to the Patriots in 2005. You just pick up the next day and you keep moving on. You got a young core. Yeah, you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Or when they lost to Mahomes 2 years ago,
Yeah.
or when they lost to the Arizona Cardinals in 2008, when you were going to go to the Super Bowl and see Bruce Springsteen play the halftime show.
I was never
You
going to go
just
to the.
you carry those lashes.
Oh, you were
That's
going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes, I was going to.
Oh, I didn't. I don't think I knew that.
And I was 19. They were in the NFC Championship game. They lose against Kurt Warner and the Cardinals. And yeah, but going into that game, my dad was like, I already talked to my guy. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. I believe it was in Jacksonville because my dad was living in Georgia. He said, we'll just drive down to Jacksonville. And Springsteen was playing the halftime show. It would have been great. And nope.
Wait, so they
lost that game.
played the Patriots in the Super Bowl in 2000. What was it technically
Four.
February 2005? That was in
Yes.
Jacksonville, right?
yeah,
And then it was back in
I
Jacksonville.
thought
in
it was in
2008?
it was in
Jacksonville.
Tampa. It was in Tampa. No.
Tampa. Okay, there you go.
That's amazing recall that you knew exactly where the Super Bowl was in 2008.
Yeah, it was in Ray J. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
wow.
2009.
Yeah.
2009 was a great year for Ray J.
Oh,
I think I used to
Um,
think the Patriots won in 05. It was good luck. Like it was good luck for me.
how old were you in 2005?
So I wasn't a full year yet, but I was in the hospital for that entire week because I was dying. So I
Lord.
and I left the hospital the day that they won the Super Bowl. So I feel like they
Wow.
like gave me some good luck. I was fine then because I was March 04. But
Okay.
I got sick real bad, and so I was in the hospital for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So I got out during the Super Bowl.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
we love you, buddy. I'm glad you had good doctors, good care, got two good parents, great family. But your Patriots are probably going to lose this week. He's here. He's thriving. He's rooting for his Patriots.
Shout out.
Not sure how we segue out of the Patriots, medical care.
Patriots, The Patriot, Mel Gibson.
It's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aim small, miss small. When I talk to young reporters about like if you're going to take a big swing at something and being cautious, aim small, miss small.
Are you a big Mel Gibson guy, John?
I know what you're trying to do, and
A big thing in
you
life.
can separate
and
the
it's-
artist from
The
I can
art
just
from the
se-
artist.
Yeah,
Separating the art from the artist is a
thank
big thing in life.
I know what
uh,
you're trying to do.
I don't know
People
what you're
sometimes
I don't
struggle
know
with
what
that
you're talking
nowadays.
Yeah.
Do I support Kid Rock? Absolutely not. Was Ba with a Ba still a great song?
Oh, no.
Because a Cowboy was a great song.
Anyway, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I had the chance to catch up with Temple sophomore guard Aiden Tobiason earlier today. He scored 22 points in Saturday night's win over USF, 39 minutes, no turnovers, and was about as good and as aggressive in getting to the basket as he's been all season. So as I mentioned before, we talked about a lot. We talked about just the team and how they have responded and really coped with the loss of Bill Courtney, their beloved assistant coach who passed away, them finding out a couple of days before they left to go down to Memphis. So we talked a lot about where he feels the team is right now, talked about Muhammad Keita and his contributions Saturday night's game, and you'll hear Aiden talk about just where he feels like he is as a player. Talked about a lot of other players on the roster as well, including the development of Gavin Griffiths and the development of Darian Ford as well. Talked about how Babatunde Dorodola has kind of remodeled his game a little bit, how they've been able to run some offense through him. So hope you guys enjoyed this interview, and we'll have more for you on the other side, including talking more about the USF win, that ECU game that's coming up for the Owls this weekend on the road, and women's hoops in the mailbag as well. Aiden, thanks for taking time to talk. I appreciate it. Before we get too into the basketball piece of things, first I just want to say my heart goes out to you guys. I didn't get the chance to know Bill Courtney as well as you guys did, but I can't imagine what you guys are going through. But how are you doing with it? Because I know the expectation was, we got to keep playing, but how are you guys just holding up as human beings?
Yeah, thank you. And it was hard news at first. It was definitely unexpected because I think 3 or 2 days prior to that he was at the he was coaching at the ECU game. You know, so it was definitely unexpected and definitely heartbreaking. But we kind of just took it a day at a time, and it was kind of hard to play, but we know that's what he wanted, so that's what we did. But no, it was definitely hard at first, and it honestly just brought us closer. So
as players, when Fish said, he had told us the story where he kind of like put you guys in a room and he decided, and I think he said Swish called me. It wasn't too long after, and he said, "Coach, we want to play." I mean, what's that conversation like, and what do you think that meant to him?
It was definitely a silent conversation for sure. I think we were all just in each other's heads, just replaying memories with BC, but it wasn't an easy decision, and it was just something we kind of just all agreed on, but definitely wasn't easy at all.
Whatever the average college basketball fan is, and you're in Philly, they probably don't really understand like his whole career, like how accomplished he was building the George Mason Final Four roster and helping with Miami. What did he mean to you guys as a coach? What did you learn from him as a coach in the time that you spent with him?
Oh man, he was great. I mean, he always harped on like he coached a lot of professionals, so like he knew what he was talking about, and I would work out with him in the mornings a lot, and he had a great offensive game. He was a former Bucknell leading scorer. I don't know if he still is, but
I think so. Yeah.
Is he still the leading scorer at Bucknell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, like he has a great offensive mind. So, he definitely had a lot of knowledge for sure.
How you said that it's brought you closer, and one of the things that Fish talked about was he said I think he borrowed this quote from Billy. So you kind of, whatever's going on in your life, when you go out on the court, and we're looking at it on the other side of the glass here, you kind of go out there and you kind of like leave your problems behind. Is that just getting back out there and playing? You said it's brought you guys closer. Has it helped to just almost like a therapy to just get out there and play and keep playing through it? Oh
yeah, of course. I think basketball in any circumstance is therapy. So like just playing out there just helps us kind of overcome this obstacle, of losing somebody so special. But yeah, I think playing with each other for sure helps with this.
So as of now, you guys are tied with USF for second place in the conference standings. And one of the teams in first, Charlotte, is a team you guys have split with. Your 3 conference losses have come by an average of 4 points. So you guys are really right there in the mix of everything, despite everything that you guys have gone through, losing an assistant coach, being without A.J. Smith, being without C.J. Hines. All things considered, how are you guys feeling about where you are right now as a basketball team?
I think the biggest thing is we just can't get too comfortable, because we're halfway through the conference. We haven't done anything yet. So I think even though we're 6-3, which is tied for second, which is pretty good, we're aiming to win the conference. So I'm happy where we are. We still got a lot of work to do, and just keep pushing.
Let's talk about Saturday night's game. Big win for you guys, impressive win. I know you had 23 points in 2 other games, but you had 22 Saturday night. In my humble opinion, whatever it's worth, I think that might have been your best game of the season. You played 39 minutes, didn't turn the ball over once, and you look to me to be as comfortable as you've been all year long, and looking for your shot, being aggressive. But I want to hear about how you thought you played on Saturday night.
I think I played pretty good. I think I could have got some more boards, but I think I really harped on getting back on defense because they're a team that likes to run in transition. They average 90 points a game, so I think I was really harping on just getting back and so they can't get no easy buckets. But I think overall I play solid. I just live for those moments. Like packed out crowd. That's the atmosphere I love to play in. So
Yeah. Confidence is obviously a huge part of this game. What do you think Saturday night did for Mokita's confidence just to do what he did in that game? And I mean, you guys don't win the game without him.
Oh yeah, no, we all believe in Mo, and we all know Mo can impact the game like that. So I think he knows that we trust in him and stuff. So I think whenever he comes on the court, we just want him to play his game and do what he does, because that's going to help us win every time.
Can you put into context for fans what he did? So he didn't play in the first 35 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
He had missed 15 of his previous 24 college free throw attempts, goes to the line. That's probably hard for anybody in any situation. He makes the first one. They try to ice him with the timeout, hits the second one, and then wins the game on the tip-in after sitting on the bench for 35 minutes. How hard is that as a player?
I see it in practice. Like, we all see it in practice. Like, he blocks well, rebounds well. He hits his free throws in practice. So I honestly wasn't surprised of anything he did in that game, but it was just great to see it come to light for everyone else.
Yeah.
So I see it in practice. Like, he's like, that's Mo. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
Talk to me about what you saw from Messiah Gilliard Saturday night. 13 points. He had 11 in the first half. Really kept you guys going. You guys you heard about him being a good offensive rebounder when he came in. That's exactly what he's done, and that was really important against a team like USF that was, I think, the third leading offensive rebounding team in the country.
Yeah.
How much or how important was he to what you guys were able to do Saturday night?
He's very important, and not just that game, but in a lot of other games where the stats don't show. He impacts the game a lot in a whole bunch of ways. He's a dog, I think that's the best representation of him, because that's what a lot of people tell me. He's like, number 10, he's a dog. He's a great teammate, great player. So I think in any aspect he impacts the game. Obviously,
college basketball has become a sport now where there's so much roster turnover from year to year, and no matter how much time you guys put in the summer, I guess there's probably almost so much continuity you guys can build from the summer. Where do you think this group is in terms of learning how to play with one another? Does it just take time to get into the season and just start to gel together?
I mean, yeah, I think a part of it is, the stuff coach has us doing over the summer and stuff. But I think the biggest part is wanting to build that relationship with each other, because you can get a group of guys, but if they don't want to build a relationship, they're not going to. Yeah. So I think the one that we wanted to become friends and become brothers, that helped. There's no selfish guys on the team. The coaches did a great job not recruiting just good players, but good people as well. So that helps with that.
You and Bob are the two starters that stayed. Bob has since moved to the bench. I know he's had some ups and downs, but Saturday night gives you 7 points, 7 rebounds, 3 offensive boards, 5 assists, 2 steals. It looks like you guys have been able to utilize him in a role where you're running some offense through him, and he seems to be thriving in that. You guys, from the outside in, appear to be close. What have you seen from him this season?
I think he's the most dynamic 5 in the conference for sure. Like you just said, he had 5 assists. Like from a 5, I think that's impressive to me. So he just does a lot for us. And like you said, he had his ups and downs, but he does a lot for us, and even when the stats don't show, he impacts the game.
Do you ever look around, and I don't know what the future holds for you, some of the guys in your class have bounced around to a couple different places and it hasn't gone well for them. You've stayed and you've made the clear progression in your game that everyone thought you would. Are you happy that you stayed and happy that you're just taking the next step in your game?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely in good spirits. But I'm not complacent or comfortable with where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? I'm still I still want to, become a pro and stuff. So I still have a lot of areas to improve on. But no, I'm definitely happy I stayed for sure. But job's not done. Work to be done. So
when you look at guys like Gavin and Darian, you're talking about 2 guys that had big recruiting profiles. You were a guy that came on late, and all of a sudden people were like, "Wow, Temple's really lucky to get this guy." Gavin and Darian were former 4-star recruits. They bounced around to a couple different places. Now it looks like people are really starting to see what these guys were capable of. What have you seen from them, and what do you think Temple has done here to kind of unlock things for them?
Yeah, I mean, I think from the start, just from the summer, we put that trust into them from the beginning, so they don't have to feel like they're being limited. I think with our coaching staff and our players, we want each other to thrive and to just have freedom. So I think us us all together, just putting trust into everyone, will get their confidence up, and they'll play to the ability that they can play it.
You guys have a stretch now, 6 days to prepare for. You're in the midst of it now to prepare for ECU. What did you learn from playing against them the first time around in that game?
I learned that we gotta clean up on the boards because they have like a solid big. They play ice, so we do gotta clean up on our offense. But I saw that they played zone versus FAU for like 90% of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're just getting prepared for that. But yeah, just boards, keep playing defense, and everything will come to us.
It looks like, going back to Saturday's game,
Mm-hmm.
the zone that USF threw at you guys, first half has slowed you down. Second half, you guys play better against it. I don't know. You would know better than I. It looked like a 1-3-1, and then they were switching into like some sort of like 1-2-2. Like they were switching a lot. When you have success, everybody's zone is different, but when you have success like you did Saturday night in the second half and you work through it, if you're anticipating ECU throwing some more zone, is that just a little bit more of a confidence boost for you guys?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think teams have like their own way of using a zone. Like USF, they started in it was a high 2-3, but they started the two guards and a tandem up top. Like that's something I've never really seen before.
Yeah.
So I think every team has like their different like playing styles in their zone. But no, I think we just have to prepare for it. I don't think we honestly prepared enough for a zone before USF because we weren't expecting that. But no, I think we just have to prepare for it. And
when you guys were playing against them the first time, I know you didn't play with them, but do you see a little bit of extra? Like, I mean, Jordan Riley's a scorer, but do you feel like he's trying a little extra harder against you guys because he played here before?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't really know. Like the first time, I don't really remember him going as hard, but I don't think there's a animosity between you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like there's none of that. So, but no, I think he does like there's a little chip on the shoulder for sure though.
Yeah.
For sure.
What in your estimation has led to this team just being much better defensively this year? I mean, it's a marked improvement. I know you say like you're in the middle of the conference season, you can't get complacent, but you guys have just been a better defensive basketball team. What has gone into that?
Just work. I think it was I forget what week it was, but we were like 300 something in the country in defense, and coach was not very happy about that, and we weren't either. So we just put more defense in our practice plan, and just got better over time. So,
I mean, you weren't here for Adam's first year. His staff just hasn't been able to have like a normal year between all sorts of external factors. Mash gets hurt last year. You guys have dealt with so much hardship this year. It's obvious that you guys play hard for him and play hard for the staff. How do you think they keep things going through like the ups and downs that you guys have faced?
I think it's just the relationship we built over the summer, like with the coaches and players. We just all had that kind of like there's no there's like no awkward relationship with each other. Like it's all like it feels like family.
Yeah. So
like no matter what we go through, we're all just here for each other.
You talked about having pro aspirations. Where do you feel like you are with your game, and what do you? Every guy says he wants to improve, and I know that, but like, what are you still working on? What do you want to get better at?
I think one of the biggest thing I'm trying to work on is defensively is guarding off the ball, because I think I guard really well on the ball and stuff, but off the ball, coming off those screens on shooters and stuff like that, I think that's something I have to improve on. And then I still want to get better at my shot off the dribble and get into the basket. But yeah, it's just little stuff like that.
I know you have to take every game one at a time. Do you guys allow yourself to look ahead and say, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, the way we started the interview, the one team that you guys haven't really tested yourself against is Tulsa, and you're going to get them final regular season game, but the league is there to be won, and it's kind of like a weird year where like there are a lot of good teams at the top, including this one. Do you kind of look around and say like, we get down there, we play our best basketball, and anything's possible? Is that kind of the mindset that you guys have?
Oh yeah, I think this year, this conference is an even playing field for everyone. I think anybody can be anybody this year. So I think it just comes down to a team that's tougher and wants it more.
Final question for you, completely nothing to do with basketball. I want to see if you remember the musical artist that I asked you about last year when you were on social media. I think it was a Valentine's Day post. I think somebody asked you about Valentine's Day music, and I said I appreciate it because you threw an old school artist out there.
Was it Sade?
Sade, yeah. Are you still listening to Sade?
Of course.
Here we go.
Sade, yep.
Give me your
She's dope.
favorite Sade song.
Ooh.
If you have to text your dad or your mom, I will understand.
No, I would say probably I think either Pearls or Is It a Crime? Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Where did you get this appreciation for like old school music?
I was say my parents cuz my mom's really into old school stuff. I mean, my dad is more old school hip hop and R&B, but my mom has like a big range of, different genres of music. So I kind of got it from her, but yeah, I just like it. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoy it.
Well, good luck Saturday, Aiden. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Big thank you to Aiden Tobiason for spending some time with me earlier today and just, opening up about something that's hard to talk about, the loss of an assistant coach. And Bill Courtney's service is actually going to be this week down in Virginia. So again, our hearts go out to his family, to Adam Fisher and the staff and all the people that have worked with him. And, one of the things you heard me talk about with Aiden there is, whatever the average college basketball fan looks like here in Philadelphia, they probably wouldn't know about 3/4 of Bill Courtney's accomplishments. So again, we're thinking of his family and the Temple basketball team this week. I know Jim Larinaga posted about it, called him his best friend. So just thinking of them this week. So Temple's still in it. Second place in the conference standings. They beat USF on Saturday night. Again, if you had Mohamed Keita winning the game on your bingo card, I will tell you that you have incredible foresight there. But
and that you should call 1-800-GAMBLER.
But again, in case you missed it, I doubt that you did if you're listening to this podcast, but he hits those 2 foul shots. So he doesn't play the first 35 minutes of the game, comes in after Babatunde Duradola and Jemai Felt foul out, and comes in, hits those 2 free throws, hits one. He has to wait through the timeout, hits the other one, and then scores on that game-winning putback. You heard Aiden say earlier just there that didn't surprise him. Messiah Gilliard, another hero for them, 13 points, 11 in the first half, 4 offensive boards. Real important on a night when Temple had 22nd chance points against a USF team that came into the night as the nation's second best offensive rebounding team. So I know I've asked this question, it feels like 100 times before, but it's a game-by-game, week-by-week existence. But how are you guys feeling about this team after Saturday night? We'll get into the fact that ECU knocked off FAU. The one top team in the league that Temple hasn't really tested itself against yet is Tulsa, and they play them in the regular season finale down there. So that could be a very big game at that point. We keep talking about the fact that they would love to be one of the top 2 teams in the conference standings because they would get a double bye right to the conference semifinals. They're short on depth. They wouldn't have to play or win 4 games in 4 days. But how do you feel about this team after what you saw on Saturday?
Honestly, I felt good about this team. Like in general, my main concern was always just gonna be 1, their offense just kind of going dry, and 2, their depth. I was really impressed with 1, Messiah, and 2, Babatunde Duradola, especially in that game on Saturday. They were essentially the reason that they stayed with it in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
Baba was 7 points. The rebounds that he got were huge. Obviously, ended up fouling out in that second half. But without them, they are not within striking distance of that game for most of it. They had 24 bench points.
Yeah. Which they normally don't get anywhere
mm-hmm.
close to that. Yeah.
They had that road trip down to the road trip to Texas. They had 19 points combined against Rice and UTSA. So seeing them kind of just be able to kind of pick it up and do everything like that. And last week, we kind of talked about if there is someone to pick it up on their bench, I think it would have to be Messiah Gilliard, just because he's been able to show it in spurts. When they went down to Florida to play UC San Diego in that Rhode Island game, even though they lost those games, you saw that he could go out and try to score, getting double digits in those games. And you've also seen that at times that he can be a little bit more than just an energy guy and a rebounder. So seeing him kind of just pick it up really is when, especially at this point in the season, it reminds me of essentially who he was brought here to kind of replace and fill to be. And Shane Dezzoni, not last year, but 2 years ago, when he kind of started coming into that scoring guy off the bench where he can obviously he's not getting 10 every night, but he can get you 7, he can get you 8. he can get you some good offensive boards. He can play good defense for you. So seeing him being able to pick it up has been really nice. And obviously going into the offensive droughts, obviously not ideal, especially after that loss to Charlotte, where only made one shot in between the last 2 minutes of the game of regulation and the entire overtime period. And then it kind of felt like it was a little bit similar. Like it could be the similar outcome against South Florida, where they only hit one shot in the final 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes there. So to be seeing them be just kind of like rely on their defense, which is something that they would not have been able to do last year, was nice to see.
Kyle, what about you? What are you thinking about this team?
Yeah, I'll say if you read our message boards after they lost to Charlotte, you thought that this team was going to lose the next 11 games and that they would be like an insurance fraud claim against Leah Core Center by the end of the year. I think it's like representative of kind of what I thought, which is that the top 6, 7, 8 teams in the American are all pretty close to each other. Like legit, I think you can make the argument.
Ryan just made a 6-7 hand gesture here.
Oh no, Ryan added me on LinkedIn this morning, which means he's too old to be doing 6-7 comments. And I will take away that invitation.
Can you rescind an invitation on LinkedIn?
I've accepted it, but I can decline it. I'm sure I can absolutely remove him.
He's pulling little snacks out of his pocket right now.
They're cough
they're cough drops.
They're
I thought
cough
it looked like Cheerios. You look like a kid in church pulling Cheerios out of his.
That's a good reminder. I brought this down from lunch and I forgot to put my ceremonial Jolly Rancher. Yeah, that there's parity in the top part of this league, and I think that South Florida was kind of riding high a little bit, and you kind of saw like, okay, well, Hutchinson brought everybody except for Darian Ford over from Arkansas State. That maybe they kind of further along in their progression. I feel good that Temple was able to get a quality win at home. I still have the same concerns I always had about their interior defense. I mean, the way that Isaiah Nelson, double guy, was able to, he did it a completely different way than Biggs have in the past. He got to the line 12 times. To his credit, a guy that's a pretty mediocre to bad free throw shooter made 10 of 12.
Yeah.
But in the end, he still got 18 points, 8 boards, 4 assists. He was still like the biggest issue for them defensively. But I think, to be honest, you're kind of nitpicking if you point at that, because they held a top 10 scoring offense in the nation that was averaging 91 points a game coming into it to 13 points below their season average. I think the identity of this team is there's not much depth. They're going to play 6, 7 guys, but I do think they try to defend, which is more than what a lot of teams in this conference do. And that when that happens, and they try to defend, and they, like Ryan said, sometimes the offense does look a little like stagnant. It goes through those dry stretches, but in the end, like, you're nitpicking. Like it's the best win of the season for Temple, and maybe the second or third best win in Evan Fisher's tenure.
Yeah, and since we last recorded, right, I don't think we've talked about the Charlotte loss in overtime. I mean, they were without Gavin Griffiths, who Adam Fisher keeps saying it's a lower body injury that he's been dealing with all season. But right now, Charlotte's the first place team in the league, and you took them to overtime without one of your top players. And there were times where they're kicking around, moving the ball well, and they really could have used, Kyle had the stat that Ray Dunn continues to cite, shouted it out during the Charlotte game. So props Kyle.
Kudos. Probably like a month out of date at this point.
Kudos Kyle. Kudos Ray.
Stats do change.
Yeah. Well, just drink it in, Kyle. Ray is appreciating you on ESPN.
I appreciate people that appreciate me.
Yeah. I love people who love me. That's Kyle's.
I like people who like me.
I like people. Love too. Sometimes he drops the L-bomb. But nonetheless, they did not have Gavin Griffiths in that game. They got him back on Saturday, but if we're kind of moving this forward to Saturday's road game at ECU, again, and further proof that anyone in this league is capable of beating anyone and losing to anyone at any time, ECU beats Florida Atlantic 76-75 on the road on Sunday. Jordan Riley, everyone's favorite former Temple Owl, goes off for 35 points and was named the conference player of the week. Demetri Gardner, the mid-year addition who started off the season at Fordham, is starting to pick things up for ECU, had 12 points in that game. Giovanni Emajuru, their 6'10", 260-pound center, gave Temple a lot of problems last time they played. He had 12 points and 4 boards in that game. He had 19 points and 9 rebounds against Temple back on January 7th. He's averaging 13.5 points, 9.5 rebounds per game, is playing about as well as any big in the league. So if you look at ECU's record on paper, you say Temple should be able to win this game, but both teams are going to get a healthy amount of time to prepare here, right? I believe ECU's off all week too, I think, but I don't know. I think like we could just recite the script again. You don't know what to expect going into this game. My biggest concern for Temple, and it's not a shot at Jordan Riley. I think that now Jordan Riley got his share of points, especially down the stretch, and made things really interesting for Temple in that January 7th game. Do I think Jordan Riley's going to get 35 on Temple this weekend? No. I mean, it's hard to replicate that effort night in and night out. My bigger concern for Temple, again, continues to be Emajuru. If you can, however you do it, whether it's Baba, whether it's Aiden, Darian Ford driving in, trying to get at him and draw contact, I'd feel better for Temple's chances if they can get him into some foul trouble. He would be my biggest concern for them on Saturday on the road.
Yeah. Last time they played, I mean, yeah, he had 19 and 9, but he also had 3 steals. He had 3 blocks. Like, he was just kind of yet another, here's a 6'10", 260-pound dude that they got to find a way to defend.
All right, so again, Temple will be in Greensville, North Carolina, Saturday at noon, and they'll continue to play for the right to stay near the top of the conference standings there. And again, as we just said a few minutes ago, FAU, I still think they have as talented a roster as anyone in the league, but they lose a game at home to East Carolina, which, I think has a better roster than people realize too. So interesting year and interesting times in the American on the men's side.
Yeah, just to kind of put a bow on that, the one team that I feel like we haven't really fully seen and haven't fully appreciated is what you alluded to earlier, which is Tulsa. But Tulsa lost by 15 to South Florida at home. They lost to a mediocre North Texas team. Like, everybody in this conference can beat everybody.
On the women's side, Kayla Turner, 27 points. She eclipsed the 1,000-point mark for her career in the second quarter. She threw that long outlet pass to Jaleesa Molina, who scored the game-winning basket at Tulane. So the Owls are 10-11 overall, 4-5 in the American. Nice win for them, but again, they needed a last-second moment to beat a team that's not one of the best teams in the league. So now they host a North Texas team Saturday that's 12-10 overall and 6-4 in league play. So my same question here. What do we make of this team? This is better than where they were at the start of conference play, but is this, Ryan, maybe I'll start with you on this. Is this just who they are, which is to say that they're a team that's not really going to get too many comfortable wins this season?
I think it can honestly just be safe to say that it's honestly just going to depend on are they able to stay consistent for a full quarters of basketball, and that
Or even 3.
And
I don't mean that as a shot against them. They're just a very high and low swings.
They
But again, they're playing better than they were a few weeks ago.
They come out slow and then they will sometimes crescendo all the way up. So it's just
Good music term like that, crescendo. Kyle, did you catch that?
Best.
Or are you looking at your Rubik's Cube?
No, I heard it. I do not have a Rubik's Cube in my hand. It's sitting here completed.
I'm cubeless.
I'm cold turkey.
I don't even have a Rubik's Cube. I'm cubeless. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
No, you
completely interrupted your flow there. You were talking about crescendo. You were conducting. I'm sorry. Get back. I'm sorry.
No, John, it's okay. My fault.
No, you were not at fault. I was at fault. I interrupted you. You were getting musical. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just really going to be if they able to kind of just stay consistent the entire time, and also it's also going to go back to are they going to be able to get some returns on their bench, something that Diane Richardson has kind of talked about that they were really excited about and optimistic for. We haven't always seen that at times, so until they can start doing that, then I feel like they have talent. Kayla Turner's good. Tristan Taylor's really good. But Jaleesa Molina is good. It just needs to be, can we see that consistently?
Before we start getting into the mailbag, in case you missed it, speaking of women's hoops, you should check out Ryan's story that he did for us on the site. It was a really cool event last Thursday night, Coaches versus Cancer, sponsored. Our friend Greg Payon, who was their main media relations guy in Philadelphia, had tipped us off to it, and they had it here at Temple. It was called Can't Retire From This. So Melanie Page put together this really, really good documentary about high school girls basketball and basketball down in the DMV area, and Diane had most of her team there. And if they had any doubt about how influential she was down there, it was a really cool, shout out to Melanie, like a very, very well done documentary. It was really good, and about all the great players that have come out of there. And as I understand it, right, she's trying to do the same documentary up here. So Yolanda Laney, who is, a longtime coach in this area, Coach Don Staley, former Army coach, Lynn Arturi Chivaro was here. And then Marilyn Stevens, of course, is one of the best players in the history of the Temple program. They were here. They recorded a podcast segment. Really cool night, really cool evening. And they had, in the midst of a road game, they flew back for this. Did she take the team to Unrivaled and then fly out Friday night and then go down to New Orleans Friday night or Saturday morning?
Yeah, they had a box. Yeah, they had a suite at Unrivaled, the entire team, and then they left.
They've left that night?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And you went to Unrivaled, right?
Yeah.
How was it? I mean, how it looked awesome, sold out, watching from home. How was it being?
It was so tough. It was so cool. I got a sweatshirt. I have a sweatshirt and everything. Yeah. It was really, really cool. It was a gift I got for Sienna. So I got to go. That was really cool. Got to see Paige Beckers play. Got to see Marina Mabry drop 47. That was insane. Like, that was crazy. Every time she pulled up, the shot was going, and I was like, okay.
Are you spraining your shoulder, patting yourself on the back as a good boyfriend gift? That is a nice gift. Nice gift. But
yeah, not even. She got me into it like because she watched all the games last year, and so she got me into watching it. So I was excited.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying anything that people haven't said already, but if that is any indication of how Philadelphia is going to embrace the WNBA team here, really, really cool stuff. So again, Diane Richardson's women's team will host North Texas Saturday. It is 12-10 overall, 6-4 in league play. So we'll see what version of the Owls we get this weekend. You can check out Owl Scoop for our coverage there as well. We'll talk a little bit of football in the coming weeks. Not too much on the football news front there. We do have, I believe we have a football mailbag question that we'll get to in a second here. That'll be fun. As we say each week, before we jump into the mailbag, our friend Mike Greenspan of Greenspan and Greenspan Injury Lawyers has a weekly tip for you. He wants to keep you safe in life and on the road so that you don't need his services, just in case you do. He's an outstanding injury lawyer. But here's Mike's weekly tip for keeping you safe in life on the roads, and then we'll get to the mailbag questions that we have for this week.
If you have the misfortune of being involved in a car crash, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is not seeking medical treatment. Look, let's face it. Most of us were in that situation where I think, I'm okay, I don't have to worry about it. Don't think like that. Go to an urgent care and get checked out. And the reason is this: if you are truly okay and just a little sore, fantastic. All you've done is spent an hour in an urgent care. But if you're not, and you have delayed treatment, the insurance company for the vehicle that did that to you is going to hold it against you. So, get yourself checked out, make sure you're okay, and if you're not, then you will need to know about seeking a lawyer. Stay safe on the road and go Owls.
All right, first mailbag question here comes from the screen name Temple Owls 86. Our friend Jeff Nyberg getting a second mention on the scoop this week. So Temple Owls 86's question: in Jeff Nyberg's NIL article in the Philadelphia Inquirer a few months ago, he mentioned Temple's budget for basketball this year was roughly $1 million. Do you expect the number to go up next year or stay the same? It really feels like if it doesn't go up soon, we're going to be stuck around a 500 team every year, with some years being worse than that. Well, I would hope for Temple's sake that it would go up. So, Kyle, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'd echo. I would hope. I would say, just from speaking to a number of people in a number of different places, I believe football went up roughly 50% between last year and this year. I think this will be a good gauge of, well, was that this administration deciding to fund football a little more because Casey Keeler showed enough in his first year to go from there? Or is it that the athletic department has decided to fund rev share more, like in general across the board? If Temple basketball's budget only goes up 50% more, I still don't think that's enough. I think that should go up probably a bit more than that. But yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
I would think it has to go up. It has to go up something. I will also say that from what we've gathered, there's always just rumors out there about, like, where does Temple stand compared to its peers. And I always take a lot of it with a grain of salt because, one, you're not getting, like, I'm not looking at an itemized list of here's East Carolina's budget and here's their line item that they allocated to rev share. I'm not looking at that. So you hear numbers and you think to yourself, like, is this true? Is this somebody exaggerating or under exaggerating? Whatever it might be. But hear from enough people that Temple's probably the third or fourth lowest rev share in the conference right now. So the fact that they are tied for third or second, well, tied for third right now with that amount is a good thing. It's a positive return on investment. I think if your aspiration is to win conference championships, then you need to spend like that, and where they currently are right now just does not align to that.
Sunny Owl has two questions for us. Well, one's football related, one is Grammys related. Question number one, I understand spring games are what they are, but in what ways would you improve the Temple football spring game to attract more fans to it? Are there benefits to televising it? If they decided to stream games for football games and basketball games, they went to streaming as opposed to having games on 1210 and the Fanatic, I don't know that the athletic department is going to spend the money to try to like buy time on like NBC Sports Philadelphia.
What's the value in that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think that there's more value in getting people, I think, down to campus. I think you're
Right.
just you're trying to get people interested in the program. You're trying to cultivate future donors. You're trying to get people who haven't seen the facility before, especially if the weather is nice. You get them to bump into, when I was talking to Matt Ioannidis last week, I said, hey, you come to the spring game? He's like, yeah, I'd like to. So if a fan who's walking around gets to bump into a guy who played in the NFL for 7 years and got to a second contract, that's a good thing. You don't get that if you're on TV. If they were trying to stream it on TV, well, to Kyle's point, I agree with you. I don't know that there are really benefits to televising. I think it's like you got to get people on campus into the game. There's a benefit for the fans, I think, to get into that aren't in the area. But I think if you do it, you're probably going to stream it on your website. And I think to do that, you've got to get guests on there. The game itself can't carry the day. You've
Right.
got to get like what they do in terms of like, I'm a little biased here. Shout out to WHIP, Temple Student Run Radio Station. I'm their advisor. I promise I'm not just saying this for that reason, but like they get guests on during the game. So if you get Tyler Matakevich, Matt Ioannidis, if PJ Walker comes back to campus, if Jacob Martin and Jordan McGee come back, hey, you guys played a ton of snaps for the Commanders this year. I think you would have to, if you do it that way, it's got to be guest heavy because nobody cares as much about a watered down offense, a watered down defense. We'll say this as spring ball gets closer. You can see individual talent. You can see individual plays. There will be things to be excited about. A mostly new roster, new quarterbacks. Everybody's going to want to get a look at Jackson Smollett, but like Tyler Walker is not going to show you the ins and outs of what he's going to call. And by the time the game gets to the third quarter and they start coming up with weird ways to score points, that's not going to carry the day. If you did anything in terms of televising it and streaming it, I think it would have to be guest heavy.
Agree entirely. Like even 10 years ago when spring games were more like traditional scrimmages, it still wouldn't have been enough to just carry a broadcast in itself. It wouldn't grow the brand. Anybody seeing the 2014 Temple Owls scrimmage against each other in spring. It's about getting people onto campus.
Yeah, and we've said this a million times over. Every year, I don't know. This is terrible. I'm blanking on the walk-on running back who had a decent game last spring. Not to the effect of like Myron Miles or Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams was a few years ago. That was Declan's guy.
Darius Morant.
Yeah.
Not Darius Morant.
Jordan Miller.
Jordan Miller, thank you. Jordan Miller had a few decent, or maybe I'm thinking like he had a few decent carries in spring ball. But yeah, I mean, like deep into the second half, you're looking at depth guys, and I would think it would have to be guest heavy. And you're not getting into like this fourth quarter play where somebody throws a deep ball down the sideline. But again, not saying that the spring game won't be fun, but I think the benefits of getting people on campus, I think, far outweigh the benefits to televising the game.
How would you make it better was the other part.
How would you make it better? That's a good question. I mean, I do think that they seem to do, from where I sit, a solid job of creating a good atmosphere in that Diamond Street lot. They do get like a pretty decent turnout. I'll shout out Dave Gerson. I know he's working at STHM now. I don't know if he's still going to be helping them get former players to campus. I think they've done a pretty solid job. When EJ Warner was here, even though things didn't work out for EJ Warner, people still got a throw out of Kurt Warner walking around the facility. They've gotten, again, the Tylers of the world, other former players, Hassan Reddick making an appearance. I think they've done a pretty good job of getting former players back. I don't know if it would be getting those former players on, like when they do, if they did something gimmicky between quarters, maybe getting a former player on the mic and like speaking for a minute or having some sort of giveaway or throwing Tyler and Matt Ioannidis into like an Oklahoma drill or something like that. I don't know. Like,
Drastically different size human
yeah,
beings.
yeah. I don't know. Well, that's probably not his playing weight anymore.
No.
Tyler probably isn't either. But I think it would be just like getting more of the pros out there onto the field, maybe an autograph table. But I do think like between that, the food trucks, I think that they make it a pretty fun experience. I don't know. What would you guys do? I feel like Kyle's got some good extreme ideas.
No, I was trying to rack my brain for something. My gut, and I understand why they do it at EO. My gut tells me they shouldn't do it at EO. They should. I think I prefer it at the soccer facility.
I did like it down there. I mean, the weather was nice that year. When they had it down at the Temple Sports Complex, they had some good food trucks down there. I remember watching the game and covering the game in short sleeves, so it was better weather. I did like it down there. I thought that was.
I feel like it's just a little more open. You can roll the same bleachers out there to add more things on. I feel like that would do a little better. But nothing can be worse than the Euros down at the link in 2012.
Wow, that's a good memory.
They were like re-turfing EO or whatever, and it was the second year of Adazio.
They also had it. Remember, they had it at Cardinal O'Hara High School the one year. And
that was great because we went to Taco Bell afterwards.
We went to the Taco Bell and the joint Taco Bell and KFC in Springfield. Shout out to that prime location, Delaware County. And then I distinctly remember walking to Sabrina's with Chelsea and my mother-in-law the next day, and we got like 3/4 of the way there. I was like, I'm gonna have to double time it to down to Sabrina's because and they're like, well, what did you eat yesterday? I was like, I don't want to say. And then
I have nobody to blame here but myself.
Absolutely. So question number 2 from Sunny Al. In honor of the Grammys, which Al Scoop staffer would have the best chance to win a Grammy? I think Ryan's just going to campaign for himself here, but maybe I'm wrong.
Huh?
Which Al Scoop staffer would have the best chance of winning a Grammy? Now, you could be an artist, you could be a producer, you could be a songwriter. It can't be Colin because Colin is borderline music illiterate. And I think, Colin's I love him to pieces. He's a very smart guy, but he's openly said he's not a big music guy.
I would hope not be me, because then I would get called like a nepo baby. I don't like that.
Because your brother?
Nah, because my aunt.
What are you going to drop on us now? Who's your?
Do you know who Jill Scott is?
Yes.
That's my godma.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're not pulling my leg.
No, I'm not.
You're not pulling my leg. You're telling me for the first time now, and the whole time I've known you, that Jill Scott is your godmother. Where has this been? Where has this been?
Can you FaceTime Jill Scott right now?
Can we get Jill Scott on the scoop?
She has COVID right now. So
when she, the fact that she has COVID right now. Are you you're not pulling my leg?
No, hold up.
This is insane.
Because my mom grew up around here in Philly, up by Dobbins. So that's where my grandmother, where's my mom's grandma, and so my great grandma and Jill's mom were best friends. And so when my mom would come visit before she ended up moving like full time into Philly, they would hang out all the time. They went to middle school together.
Talk about burying the lead of life. All that, like the road trips that we've taken, the time I spent around you. You've never told me that Jill Scott is your godmother.
I thought I brought it up. Hold up.
That's amazing.
Let me see if I have.
Ryan, are you a nepo baby?
No. Of course not. No.
Could you get her to come by to see you at some point? Can I meet her? Are you serious?
Maybe not soon. She has an album out in 2 weeks.
This is
in a week
to me.
In a week. So that might be busy because she's going on tour for it like relatively soon. So
we're finding out in real time in the Al Scoop mailbag that Jill Scott is your godmother. She's a legend. She went to Temple for a little while, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm excited to hear this. I can't get over the fact that you haven't told us this before.
Like the clearest picture I have is this when my brother was on Broadway. This is my brother's Broadway thing.
Yeah,
That's the close I have for him, but this is them together.
Well, we can't hear you because you're not by the mic right now.
Oh yeah, this is like the closest I have from pictures.
Here, let me grab your phone. I'll show Kyle on Zoom. This is amazing. So there could be a possibility of you getting her to come to campus.
Well, yeah, she was in.
Can we help her study up on Temple football to join us on the scoop?
Yes.
Jill,
Yeah.
Jackson Smolik. We know this was your top choice for quarterback. I think she lived on like the 1700 block of Wall Street at some point. I think she lived in Fairmount. I would be stoked to meet her.
Well,
that would be
that one I
amazing.
don't. Yeah, that one I don't remember seeing her. Cause she lives down south now, and I was too young when she still lived in Philly. The only time I remember like visibly like remembering her a lot was when she lived up in North Jersey for a while, and we would go up to go see her every now and then. It's very. My mom talks to her all the time. I don't always get chances. I maybe see her like every couple years. Like she'll probably be here for my graduation.
You know who doesn't get to see her every couple years? Me. If I don't get the sense that you're lying to me, if this is a huge recreational lie, I'll never forgive you.
No. She'll be here for my graduation most likely.
Wow.
She was at my older brother's high school graduation. That was cool. When my name is Joe Scott, my dad drove her to the studio and stuff. So that was cool for her first
That's
album.
insane. All right, so Ryan's got some connections here.
All I'm saying is, if I had a famous godmother, I would accurately know the name of her first album.
Oh wait, who is Joe Scott? My apologies.
sounds like a Jeopardy trip up.
Stop.
This is insane.
But yeah.
You're not shaking the Nepo baby accusations.
I mean, hey, if you got that connection. All right. So it's probably going to be Ryan. If it's not you.
I have before that got derailed into you just hiding things from us.
That's more than anything.
I wasn't hiding anything.
Hurt. You've been hiding this from us. I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate the modesty, but holy crap. Just share your gift.
Yeah, I don't talk to a lot of people about it. And
And now you're talking to the podcast universe.
Most listened to podcast in the Temple universe.
I mean, how active is she on Twitter? Can we tag her on Twitter and have her? She doesn't care about this podcast. Can we get her to care about the scoop?
Can we get her to record an intro?
Yeah.
Honestly, she probably would.
I'm serious.
Most likely.
Do not.
I'm Jill Scott. You're listening to The Scoop, presented by OutScoop.com.
Please ask her.
I ask her.
That's. If someone's gonna bump Dion Dawkins, Jill Scott. Yeah.
If all of a sudden we have a voice memo of Jill Scott introducing the Scoop.
Can you imagine? This is Jill Scott. What is this again, Ryan? What do you have me doing? Temple Sports.
Ryan, you're really putting me on the spot, Ryan. Are you recording our conversation?
Are you recording this right now? It's like you trick her into recording. She sort of records the intro to the Scoop. Like, that's all right. We'll take it. It's better than nothing. Sorry, Dion. This is amazing. Yes. Yes. If we could meet her, if we could record an episode with her, if she could record the intro, any of the above, I can't believe you're just dropping this on us right now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Nice. This made my day. Kyle, what were you going to say? If
I was going to say the Grammy Awards are known for having some really like obscure categories, a lot of which don't make the actual like television event. I think the one that I would have the best chance at is the Grammy Award for Best Album Notes. Like just the inside of it. I will find some artist out there that's putting out an album, and I'll just write some bullcrap story in the album notes about how the recording of it, the trials and tribulations that they went through, and we'll go through. If you can answer correctly, who won the first Grammy in 1964 for Best Album Notes, I'll be very impressed. Jazz musician in 1964.
Jazz musician, 1964.
Later on, would make an appearance as a ghost on a Netflix comedy cartoon show.
Is it Duke Ellington?
It's Duke Ellington.
Are you cheating? Are you looking that up?
From Big Mouth.
Because Ghost for Netflix TV show, he was in Big Mouth.
Big Mouth.
Wow.
That's how I remember that one.
Well, not him, because he died, 1974.
Oh, yeah.
But the ghost of Duke Ellington haunts the
what a treat!
house.
What a treat this mailbag has been. This made my day. I can't wait to go home and tell Chelsea about this. I could text her about it, but I wanna like go home and see the expression on her face. Like this is amazing. It's amazing. Do what you can to have us meet her.
Bradley found out they called me a Nepo baby. I was like, they don't
even care at this point if you're a Nepo baby. I don't even care at this point. That this is amazing. Well, better late than never in terms of finding out there. So yeah, Ryan is probably going to be our Al Scoop Grammy winner. Kyle will win for Best Album Notes.
I also think if there's an award in the world that you're able to just purchase, the Grammy Award's up there. I'm sure I can go on eBay somewhere and find like the 1981 winner of best whatever, and then I just have a Grammy. So most likely to physically acquire a Grammy, me. Most likely to win a Grammy, Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm not that musical though. I would produce. I can't sing. My brother's got that one, not me.
Well, how about that? How about that, Sonny Al? That's a little bit more than you bargained for. It's a little bit more than we bargained for. So, taking the scoop to the next level. We'll see if Jill Scott can help us out with that. So, wow, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. So maybe, just maybe, we'll get a Jill Scott appearance on the scoop. Fingers crossed, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us for another episode. This is exciting stuff. We'll talk to you next week. More Temple basketball news, more football news. Who knows what Ryan's going to drop on us next week?